Yo, 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 yo. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, good people? Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, our first show of November. We are here. We are another episode of SRDaily. We are just 11 episodes away from milestone episode 500. Today is episode 489. Listen, there's a lot of shit happening in my life. It's a lot of spaces where I am not as consistent as I would like to be. A lot of spaces where I'm not as disciplined as I would like to be. But I like to think I'm getting better. And this show is an example of my progress, of my improvement, of my staying consistent, of my being disciplined, regardless to what is going on. We are showing up and we are doing this freaking show Mondays through Fridays, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Our 500th episode will be Tuesday, November 18th, 2 weeks from tomorrow, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. live. We will still be on these streaming platforms, but there will be an opportunity, an option to come join us in person at the Jacob Reese Community Center in Queensbridge, 10-25 41st Avenue. Be there at about 8:30, 8:45, because at 9 a.m. we start shooting at 9 a.m. We're going to do our best to close the doors as a public space so people will be walking around and doing stuff like that. But we're going to do our best to freaking keep space clear and get the show rolling, man. I'm super excited. I've never done anything like this. I don't know personally anyone who has done 500 episodes of a show over 2 years. And yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm really freaking excited. I'm really excited, man. Like, people have done, let me reframe. People have done, I think, I met somebody who did, they had like 1,000 episodes, but it was like audio. It was all audio. And they would do like sometimes 2-3 episodes a day, because the episodes was just based on how many times they went live or how many times whatever it was. They had like 1,000 something episodes, and I was impressed by that. But when they said it was just audio, I was like, okay, it's great still. But to do 1,000 episodes or 500 episodes, sorry, none of the 1,000 yet, 500 episodes of video interviews or video talk show every day live like this, 4 different segments every single day, is pretty impressive, and I'm again extremely proud of myself. So mark your calendars, Tuesday, November 18th, 2025, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here in Long Island City, 10-25 41st Avenue, episode 500, live studio audience. There will be some guest interviews. I'm confirming some people this week, so we can lock some people in, man, so we can put their names out there, let people know who's going to be interviewed. And hope you guys can make it, man. Hope you guys could join me in the celebration. It's milestone, right? 500 episodes. It's no easy feat. You know how many days I did not want to do the show. You know how many days I could have not done a show, and people would have understood, right? Whether it was fracturing my ankle, whether it was, stuff with my children. There's a lot of shit happening these last 2 years since we've been doing this show, right? But we're still going, man. And it's Monday. It's another week 99 weeks on air, 99 weeks of consistently doing the show, right? And yeah, man, I'm grateful. I'm excited. I'm proud of myself. And I am looking forward to continuing. I'm looking forward to the next 500 episodes, right? First, these next 11 episodes to get to 500. And then once we at 500 episodes, looking forward to the next 500 episodes. And we're going to hit 1,000 episodes. And as I mentioned before, I'm never going to stop doing the show. The show is going to be happening until I can no longer do it anymore. Even if we got to change times, right? Because I do predict there may come a time where we may have to change schedule, right? Instead of 9 a.m., it may have to be earlier morning thing or a later in the day thing. We are going to be doing a couple of different shows. The Sugar Ray Show will get launched, and that's going to be a platform as well. We're going to do radio, right, in the next few years, right? So, like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want my days to be like. Talk shows, right? Video, TV shows, radio shows, speaking at high schools, colleges, right? Leading companies, corporations, organizations in wellness, mindfulness, things like that. Facilitating workshops, right? That's the life that I've created already for myself, because I do that now. I'm just calling into existence to do it at a higher level. More of it, right? Generate fucking buku dollars from this shit, and be able to take care of the world, right? That's all I want to do, is be able to take care of not just my family, but I want to take care of the fucking world. Building schools, building clinics, building housing, building art spaces, building freaking so many different types of institutions, those with disabilities, our elders, our youth, all right, and all people in between. But we're gonna get the show started. Yo, Blockstar, what's going on, my brother? Peace and love. Thanks for tuning in. Mona Love, baby girl, happy make it happen Monday. Peace and love. Listen, family, let's get the show started. It is Monday, November 3rd, 2025, episode 489. I am your boy, your host, LaShawn Sugar Ray Marston. We're gonna start with our first segment of the day. Today's first segment is a word of the day. Today's word is actually two words: cognitive bias. This is what I'm studying right now in my brain science course, finishing up my lesson today, taking my exam for week 8 so we can go into week 9, which is this week, right? So you got to finish week 8's exam from last week and start week 9's lessons and work. But word of the day, cognitive bias. Cognitive bias is defined as a systematic error in thinking that affects how we process and interpret information, leading to irrational judgments and decisions. These unconscious mental shortcuts are often rooted in our beliefs and experiences and can distort our perception of reality. Examples include confirmation bias, which is the tendency to seek out information that confirms our existing beliefs, right? We can always find, you can always find some information to substantiate what you already believe. Another example, halo effect. This one is powerful, the halo effect, where one positive trait influences our overall impression of a person. Let's read it again. Cognitive bias, our word of the day, is defined as a systematic error in thinking that affects how we process and interpret information, leading to irrational judgments and decisions. These unconscious mental shortcuts are often rooted in our beliefs and experiences and can distort our perception of reality. Examples include confirmation biases, which is the tendency to seek out information that confirms our existing beliefs, and the halo effect, where one positive trait influences our overall impression of a person. So now, when we talk about specifically halo effect, consider how you or someone you know or someone in general may view a politician. A politician may dress nicely, or speak well. And the person who is considering them may assume the politician could never, ever be corrupt. They could never be corrupt because of how they feel, because of how they dress and or speak. Oh, no, they dress too nice. They would never do anything like that. Meanwhile, they're stealing hundreds and hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars, right? They stealing tons of money. They're corrupt as fuck. They're abusing their constituents. They're molesting. Yo, the governor, sexual assault the president, right? Sexual assault. But because of how someone speaks, because of how someone dresses, the halo effect is in full effect. Oh, no, they would never do anything like that. They're so educated. They speak so nicely. They're so kind. It's like, come on, really? Like, these motherfuckers are corrupt. And not everybody specifically, right? I'm talking in general. This is a corrupt politician. But because he dresses nice, because he speaks well, because he uses big words, some people will feel that he can never be corrupt because of that, right? Eddie Kruger, what's going on, my brother? They feel like he could never, ever be corrupt because of that, right? Now, even further, more personal. Consider an abusive boyfriend. He has parents and he has siblings. Now, the abusive boyfriend may very well treat his partner nicely. He may buy expensive things, may work a really great job and have a nice house, nice car, diamond rings, fly jewelry, right? Takes her out to nice restaurants, takes her out to beautiful events, right? Have beautiful artwork in their home, right? He does really nice things with his money, finances, right? He takes really good care of his partner, of his woman. His parents and siblings may know that. They would deny, even in the face of evidence, that their loved one could be abusive because he spends money, because he has a nice job and he spends money. And it's like, really? So many of us have unconscious cognitive biases, right? Where we're not even aware of it. We're not even aware of why we think the way we think. And there's so many. I have a sheet with 50 of them, right? And there's more. There's at least 300, right? And we're probably going to be finding more as we continue to examine our own human behaviors and why we do the things we do, why we think the way we think, why we express ourselves the way we express ourselves, right? So cognitive bias, man, is very real. And I want to implore each of us to become just a little more aware of our cognitive biases, right? Again, those are just two examples. There are many more, right? They have the Dunning-Kruger effect, which is like the less I know, or the less a person knows, the more confident they are. But the more a person knows, the less confident they are. Right? So people can, and you see it online all the time, people have a little bit of information and they're freaking spit that shit out with confidence. They read a highlight, a freaking highlight, right? They read a highlight about some information related to politics, related to health, related to freaking whatever it is. They ain't do no study on this shit at all. They ain't read no books about it. They ain't had no conversations about it. They read a fucking meme, and now they got the information, right? And now they're confidently spreading that shit out there. The person who knows a lot, it's like, yeah, there may be some confident people who know a lot, but the more you know, the more you like, because the more you know, the more you realize you don't know much, right? Because the more you learn, the more you realize there's so much more to learn. And I have so much room for growth. And like, yeah, I got a little bit of knowledge, but this shit is deep. And so like, let me not speak so confidently because number one, facts change, right? Facts change all the time. Oh, it's a fact. Facts change, dogs. Once new information is permitted, the facts become different, right? It's freaking construction outside. It's not even construction. They're cutting down the tree blowing. I'm like, this shit is buzzing in my ear. It's crazy. But let's move right along, though, family. Move right along to our second segment of the day. Today's second segment is our Need to Know News of the day. Need to Know News. I'm so frustrated. The city council voted yes on the one LIC rezoning plan. And I'm not just frustrated, family. I am absolutely disgusted. I am really and truly disgusted. Not just with the establishment, not just with Julie Wan and the Department of City Planning and the rest of the city council members. I'm disgusted with us, the activists and organizers who are against that plan. We haven't done nearly enough to will our desire into existence, right? 2 years ago, I did a hunger strike. I should have fucking hunger striked for 2 years. Maybe we would have got somewhere, right? Maybe if I ain't eat for 2 fucking years, we would have got somewhere. But like, I know that I can't do every single fucking thing. And again, shout out to my comrades who did what they could, right? Potlucks and town halls and writing letters. But as I kept mentioning to them over the last few months specifically, like, we got to make these people uncomfortable, right? Like, we got to make people uncomfortable. If you want drastic change, you got to make people, the decision makers, uncomfortable. If they're not uncomfortable, no matter how much you rally, no matter how much, like, we ain't even fucking protest in front of nobody's office. We ain't even do that. Like, we ain't even disrupt nobody's fucking press conferences, nobody's events. We ain't even do that. Like, we did not do nearly enough, man. And I'm very disappointed in all of us. Because I could have done more. I could have done more. I could have. I know I could have. And I didn't. For whatever reason, I didn't. So yeah, I'm disgusted, man. They voted yes, and that means that it's just this a lot of changes coming, a lot more changes coming to Long Island City, and like, they're taking all of the fucking spaces, right? All of the public space, all of the so Long Island City right now is a manufacturing zone, right? Industrial business zone. With the vote yes, it goes to mixed use, residential, which ultimately allows them to build more luxury towers that nobody who lives in Queensbridge, who lives in the neighborhood of Long Island City, whether it's Ravenswood, the outskirts, could afford to live in these fucking buildings. All right. So let's read an article, though, man. Let's read an article, queens.com, and let's talk about it. All right. Council committees vote in favor of one LIC after Wan secures almost $2 billion in city commitments. The City Council Subcommittee on Zoning and Franchises and Committee on Land Use both unanimously voted to approve the One LIC Neighborhood Plan Wednesday after Councilmember Julie Wan secured almost $2 billion in commitments from the city during last-minute negotiations. Wan, who represents the district covered by the rezoning, announced on October 29th that she is proud to support One LIC after securing $1.97 billion in investment from the city that will provide 1,300 new school seats, investment in the neighborhood's sewage and plumbing infrastructure, and around 15 acres of open space, among several other investments. Wan's support represents a major victory for the ambitious proposal, which stands as the largest neighborhood-specific rezoning plan in New York City over the past 25 years. Wan did not vote in either committee hearing on Wednesday, but her support was critical to the success of the proposal, which goes before the full council next month. One LRC proposed by the Department of City Planning and the Adams administration covers 54 full or partial blocks in Long Island City and would add around 14,700 homes to the neighborhood, 4,300 of which would be affordable. Then they didn't listen to us. Change the definition of what it means of what affordable means, because what affordable means right now in the city is not affordable to the majority of the people who live in the fucking city. DCP said the ambitious rezoning aimed to revise outdated zoning regulations to all for mixed-use development, creating 14,400 new jobs for the neighborhood alongside over 3.5 million square feet of commercial and industrial space. But Warren had consistently voiced her opposition to the plan, approved by the City Planning Commission last month, stating at a council hearing that the CPC's version of the plan does not go far enough. She had also stated that she would vote against the plan unless it included ironclad commitments to the local community. Warren announced her support for the plan on Wednesday after securing those commitments from the city during last-minute negotiations, describing a $1.97 billion public investment in the area as historic. The One LLC plan now includes a $206 million investment in Queensbridge houses to upgrade community facilities, address chronic plumbing issues, and bring vacant units back online. One LLC also includes plans for a fully connected waterfront from Queensbridge Park to Gantry State Park after last-minute negotiation between Warren and Con Edison, with the energy firm agreeing to give up a portion of its waterfront property to the project. The New York Power Authority and Silver Cup Studios have also donated land to the city to facilitate the development. The city has also committed to converting city-owned lots underneath the Queensboro Bridge into around 5 acres of parkland that will help restore Queensbridge Baby Park. Warren said the conversation of those lots into public parkland coupled with the connected waterfront will help remove barriers between the Queensbridge community and the rest of Long Island City. Ain't no fucking barriers from Queensbridge. Like, the issues are that people in neighboring areas, right, the greater part of Long Island City, a lot of them are racist. Some of them are racist. Let me not say a lot. Some are racist. This creates a cultural disconnect because, like, I've seen it with my own eyes. Right, we've had to address racist issues. We've had to address people who moved into Long Island City calling black women who were coming from work bitches. And you go down there where your people belong. Go down there where your people belong. So, like, yeah, it sounds good, man. It sounds okay. But, like, man, this is fucking terrible, man. I'm not happy. I don't like this shit. All right, I don't like this shit at all. Like I said, like, we had a plan, Long Island City Coalition, Hunters Point Coalition, we had a plan, all right, Western Queens Community Land Trust, we had a plan, and I don't think we did enough to, like, make our plan come to fruition, right? So, such is life, right? We're going to move right along, though, family, to our third segment of the day. Today's third segment, our tip of the day. Today's tip is a reminder. It is better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. It is better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. This is ancient wisdom taken from a poet in the 1800s. Something I read in a book this morning, right? Wisdom of the Ages, right? 60 Days to Enlightenment, Wayne Dyer. And it makes so much sense, right? Like, I've heard this from young. It's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. Makes so much sense, but that mindset involves risk, and we know that a lot of people are risk averse. A lot of people don't want to take risks. They don't want to take losses. They lose. They see themselves as failures. They beat themselves up. They get depressed. It's real. Shit happens, but, like, you got to understand that in love, in pursuit of anything, like, bad shit can happen. So in love, breakups happen. If married, divorce happens. But as the saying goes, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. If you don't shoot, you never know if you can make the fucking shot. And it comes down to what type of person are you? That's what it comes down to. What type of person are you? Who are you? What are you made of? Right? Are you a risk taker who's going to pursue your goals and your dreams at all costs, no matter what possible, no matter what opposition, no matter what challenges, no matter what obstacles stand in your way? Or are you someone who cowers in the face of danger, letting fear run and ultimately ruin your life? Who are you? Literally, who are you? Are you letting fear run your life? You scared to take this chance because you might fail? That's fear, because you might win. Confidence, right? Optimism, faith. And faith is even if you do fail, like instead of saying, oh, I failed, I'm a failure. Okay, I failed. It did not work out, but I learned something. Right? I learned something. Because if they don't work out, right? If they don't work out, wouldn't it be a learning lesson, a learning experience? And isn't a learning experience an opportunity for growth? So perspective is absolutely key here. Like, how do you see yourself? One, what type of person are you? And then how do you view loss and failure? Right? Because again, like, okay, you can be 100% honest. You don't got to reframe it and say, I didn't fail. I learned 1,000 ways that it didn't work. I failed. But this failure, this loss, is an opportunity for me to grow. It's a learning experience. I can look at what I didn't do right. I can look at what I can maybe do differently. I can look at, like, if it's opposition, like what happened. Again, if it's marriage, like for men, I know a lot of times it's attentiveness. We may not be as attentive as our wife would want us to be, right? We may not be as consistent as our wife would want us to be. And so now when she wants to leave us, we boo-hoo, I'll never get married again. It's like, that's not the answer. I mean, again, what type of person are you? Right? I'm the type of person, I was married. My ex-wife wanted to divorce me. It happened. It hurt, yes. Right? But I learned, okay, I wasn't the best me I could possibly be. First, it's all divine. Second, I wasn't the best me. For my next situation, let me figure out how I can be better. My relationship after that, right? I was better, more attentive. I was more supportive, right? But I was still not so much angry from that. I just still had some things I had to work through, right? My responses to certain things was still like fiery sometimes, right? So now, the relationship I'm currently in, my fiance, best relationship I've ever had. Through small, minor challenges, we communicate, we talk, right? Like we express what we need. I might need a minute, right? Hold on. We apologize, right? Like there's no yelling, no screaming, no cursing, no name calling, right? There's none of that shit. This is the best relationship ever. Not only did I learn, but like my fiance, she learned, right? So like, yeah, it's listen, in pursuit of any goal and striving to do anything in life, of course it could not work out. And the not working out could just be not now. Think of when a baby starts to walk. Baby crawls, baby sits up, baby crawls, baby ends up walking. The first time the baby tried to sit up, the baby may have wobbled over. First time the baby tried to crawl, the baby may not have moved much. First time the baby tried to walk, stumbled and fell. Imagine if that baby would have given up. Baby would never be sitting up, would never be walking. What kind of life is that? Watching everybody around you do it. Knowing that inside of you, forget watching everybody else, knowing inside of you, you want to do this thing, but you're afraid. Oh, what if the baby had the thought, oh, I want to walk, but what if I fall again? No, the baby doesn't hear that. That voice is not even there. It's, I need to walk. I'm going to walk. I don't give a fuck how many times I fall. I'm going to figure this shit out and I'm going to walk. Same thing in life. We're pursuing a goal, building a business, pursuit of love. I don't give a fuck how many times I get dumped. I don't give a fuck how many times I experience breakup. I'm going to pursue what I want, which is a family, which is love, which is a partnership, which is companionship. So like, why not? Right? But let's move right along, family, to our fourth final segment of the day. Today's fourth segment, as always, is our build of the day. And today we are going to build on voting. Tomorrow is election day here in New York City. People have an opportunity to vote for Mayor Zoran Kwame Mamdani, my current assembly member, or two other main candidates, Andrew Cuomo and Curtis Sliwa. Voting. Is voting an independent personal act or a collective communal decision? Is voting an independent personal act or a collective communal decision? I personally like to view voting as a collective and communal decision, which is why I think voting blocks are extremely important as opposed to an independent and personal act. The latter is when you are only considering yourself, which has become the standard in American life, right? Hyper-individualism. But voting doesn't just impact any one individual. No, it impacts every single person. So then, if it impacts every single person, shouldn't the decisions be made collectively by family, neighborhood, community, etc.? Can we not sacrifice some of our own personal desires for the good of the whole? Is that not possible? Like, can we not do that? And why not? Why not? I read in the group the other day, one of my groups I'm in, right? One of the groups I'm in. I think a woman posted, "Who should I vote for? I'm confused. Who should I vote for? I'm confused." And there's a lot of comments, but one comment, right? It was a lot of good comments. They told her to weigh her options, like think, again, for, do you want life? If life was good for you over the, previous 15, 20 years, then vote for this person. If life has not been good and you need something different, then vote for this person, right? It gave her good thoughts. But one person who I know, a brother, he told her, "Why are you asking for somebody else's opinion? That's your own personal decision." And it's like, damn, they got us. America got us, man, because it's your family's decision, right? Talk with your family, talk with your neighbors, right? Talk with your block. People who live in your house, in your apartment, people who live next door to you, upstairs from you, around the corner from you. Speak to people. Get a collective consensus. This is why, we need political education, because and civic engagement year round, because it should the decision should be made. Now, of course, things come up, candidates, right? They add things as they go along. If news comes up about them, right? It may shift. But, excuse me. But civic engagement, if there was civic engagement, she wouldn't have asked that question Saturday, right? Because she would have most likely been a part of a group who already had, this is what we're voting for because this candidate meets all of these needs that we have. So this candidate may have one thing that's great, but the other things may be detrimental to us as a whole. Whereas this candidate has one thing that's not so great, one thing that's kind of oh, I wish it wasn't. Free buses. Once the bus is free, you got to pay. But what other things they're campaigning for, what their campaign includes, is things that we love. So who are we voting for as this 50, 100, 150 people, right? Who are we voting for? Voting blocks matters, man. I do not think that voting should be an independent personal act. No, I think voting is communal and is a collective decision that we should be making as a whole. And again, not every single person together, right? But what's your group, right? Age, right? Gender, right? Financial freaking status, area you live, right? All of the different, education, there's so many different aspects, right, of groups. So find your group. What group do you most align with, right? And okay, cool, all right, I'm a Black man, formerly incarcerated. I'm a father, right? Grew up in public housing. I care about public housing, right? Income is at a certain level where I can't afford. I don't have high income at this moment, right? I'm not able to afford a $3,000 one bedroom, or I need 3 bedrooms, at least 3 bedrooms, 4 or 5 bedrooms realistically, right? So you need a home, right? But yeah, so I'm gonna vote based on all of those things, not one of those things, not because this candidate is proposing that this thing is going to improve in my life, but these other areas that are extremely important to me are going to suffer. No, that's not what I'm gonna do, right? So yeah, man, voting is not a personal act, right? Independent act. Is a collective communal decision that we should be engaged in together. Voting blocks matters. Voting blocks matters. Voting blocks absolutely matter. And yeah, man. And with that, family, that's our show. 30 minutes goes by so quick, man. 30 minutes goes by so freaking fast. Do know that on the 18th, we're gonna have a 1 hour show at the 500 episode. The show is going to be 60 minutes, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. All right, so we'll have an extra 30 minutes. We'll do some interviews. But listen, guys, I love you. I appreciate you. Welcome to week 99. This is episode 489. I'm your boy, your host, LaShawn Sugar Ray Marston. Thank you for tuning into SRDaily, with personality meets enlightenment. Please be sure to join us tomorrow and every day this week, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. right here on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Instagram Live. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And remember, it ain't getting knocked down. That's the problem. It's staying down. So get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! The power is in you. As always, be kind to yourself and be kind to each other. Peace and love.